Hey, what's up guys and welcome back, and I'm here with a horror movie. What if Naruto was the first vampire, guys, of the Elemental Nation? Let us dive into a darker world of the Naruto series, where humanity is replaced with a soul-sucking monster that desire nothing but death and destruction. Let us see how the world will change if the hero got inflicted with something that was hungry for everything. Yeah, and don't forget to go ahead and comment your ideas if you have them, guys, whether it be series or movies. And also, guys, don't forget to subscribe to the other channels. They will be down in the description. Just go ahead and obliterate that red subscribe button, guys. So without further ado or wasting any more time, how about we jump right into this brand new movie? Let us begin now, guys. We begin this movie with a group as they sped through the hallways. They finally, after so long, located him. Sai, a young man that hailed from the root organization, draw his tanto. Kakashi Hatake stepped forward. Sakura stood there, looking upwards. Team 8 was also there as well. Hinata Hyuga looking directly at their enemy. Shino standing nearby. There was also Kiba. Kunai was not here though. Yamato was here. As he stood there, all of them looking up. Standing above them was Sasuke Uchiha. He looked down at them with eyes that had learned over the past 3 years to show nothing and feel nothing. He was 16 years old right now. He was taller, much more violent in every single way, as his cold eyes looked over them. But it was Hinata that stepped forward. The girl that used to be shy, the girl that used to stutter. She wasn't the same anymore. "Where is Naruto?" she said. The question hung in the air, as they all knew why they were here. It wasn't just for him. Flashback. 3 years ago, Sasuke left the village for Orochimaru. He was not the first person that mistake power for freedom. However, when the Retrieval team caught up with him, when him and Naruto battled at the Valley of the End, when Kakashi arrived, he found no one there. Jiraiya, who came back to the village, led the search. Both Naruto and Sasuke were gone. Everyone knew that Naruto would never go with Sasuke. He would never abandon the village. There were so many dark thoughts. Some believing that he was dead. Some believing that Sasuke was the one to kill him. Hinata refused all of that. Naruto was just fine, she told herself. Over the next 3 years though, she used that, knowing that she had to be strong enough to bring him back. Because Orochimaru had him. She trained herself harder than she ever has. She went to Neji. She wanted to be ruthless. She wanted to be faster, stronger in every single way. Even her stuttering stopped after a while. She had to be tough to bring Naruto back. As the time passed by, Sakura also got stronger, believing that she was the only one holding Team 7 together even though Kakashi was there. Team 7 with a new member. It was Sai. Them along with Team Guy had made their way, as they were able to face off against the threat of the Akatsuki when Gaara was kidnapped. Her and Lady Chio was able to defeat Sasori. Before his death though, he gave them a gift because they defeated him. He had a spy that worked with Orochimaru. He gave them that gift. They arrived with Yamato, as Hinata had been the one to request to go. Their abilities would be great to find the threat if it was needed. Tsunade agreed, so Yamato would go along as their supervisor in a way, even though they had all been pushed past the genin rank a long time ago. However, this was needed. If the threat was Orochimaru, it was needed. They arrived and they found Kabuto. Orochimaru was not there, luckily for them. They gave Kabuto the opportunity that he got away, but it was a trick. Yamato had used his wood clones to follow, and it led them to this place. They thought they were the ones that tricked him, but something else was going on. And now here they were. Where is Naruto? Hinata demanded to know. He looked at them with an emotionless gaze. I don't know, he said. Sakura stepped forward. Sasuke, please, we need to find him. We need to find Naruto and you need to come back home, so everything can go back to normal. He looked at her with pity. You still think there's a chance for Team 7? After all of this, how naive can you be? Sasuke, Kakashi said. You could hear the weight in his tone. He was very angry with his student. Did you kill him? Sasuke finished. No, I did not. Orochimaru took him. Where is he? Tell me, Kakashi said. Wherever he is, it's not my concern. Neither are any of you. Besides, I don't think you want him back. What do you mean by that? Orochimaru appeared. The group tensed as Yamato brought his hand up. Leave them be, Sasuke, Orochimaru said. They're still useful. Orochimaru threw papers downwards. At first they thought it was explosive tags, but no. It was information. It's information. The whereabouts are the closest whereabouts of Naruto Uzumaki, where he was last seen. Use that to find him. Kakashi was visibly unnerved by this turn of events. Why? Why give us this? He's your student. Why wouldn't you want it? That is when Kakashi saw it. You're afraid. Orochimaru smiled, finding what he said rather hilarious. But Kakashi saw it. Whatever you did to him, whatever happened while he was in your custody, he changed, and now he's after you, isn't he? There was a moment of silence. Why would I be afraid of such a child? He's no concern of mine, Orochimaru said. Do with that information as you please. Him and Sasuke vanished afterwards. As he used it to get away, the both of them going up in flames. Time skip. Sasuke sat alone. As Sasuke remembered everything rather clearly. They fought at the Valley of the End. Orochimaru people descended down. Kabuto was also there as well. Naruto was much too tired. Kabuto hit him with Senbons. It paralyzed Naruto where he stood. They dragged him along. Sasuke remembered the words slipping out of his mouth. Do not kill him, he had shouted. But from that moment he knew nothing of what happened to Naruto. Orochimaru would never tell him. And Kabuto would never say a word. Sasuke felt deep guilt, knowing that he abandoned and betrayed Naruto like that. But he told himself that it did not matter. The only thing that mattered was killing Itachi, even though he felt regret. Until it was 2 years after that. There was an incident at one of the bases. A base that he had arrived not knowing that Naruto had been there. He arrived at the base earlier on. Something happened. He saw it. When he went to check it out, he saw it. Someone standing in the shadows. But it was the eyes. Those cold red, twisted eyes. A red glow that had nothing to do with the Sharingan. Nothing to do with what Sasuke had any name for. He's never seen eyes like those before. The thing moved faster than he could, and he was thrown. His head had hit against the wall, and he blacked out. But he saw it though, the blonde hair, the face. It was Naruto, but his face was so unrecognizable. When he woke up later, the entire base was dead. Every single person in the base had been killed. Sasuke was shaken to his very core. Orochimaru had arrived and took him away from that place, almost immediately. As he demanded to know what happened, Orochimaru simply told him that Naruto was on the loose. Time skip. The team had returned home. Yes, they returned home and told Tsunade everything. Tsunade sent the message to Jiraiya almost immediately. She also sent the location that Orochimaru had. Jiraiya had been tired, searching for 3 years straight. Every dead end, every lost lead, made him feel like it was useless, made him feel like he was never going to see Naruto again. However, the information led him to a location where Jiraiya wouldn't have expected. He wasn't close to any of the great nations or anything like that. It was a small coastal town, far, far away from everything. Jiraiya made his way there. It took a while. When he got there, he started to question the people. It was not often that they saw ninjas. Jiraiya thought that was the reason why they twitch. But he realized they twitch whenever he asks about Naruto. The information led him to a small little river at the end of the village before moving on to the next. And Jiraiya saw someone sitting there, fishing. Out of all things, casually fishing. The Sannin made his way. He stood there and held his breath, releasing after a while. Naruto? The boy slowly rose and turned. Jiraiya, it's been a while. You're alive. You're actually alive. Jiraiya crossed the distance and pulled Naruto into a hug. The moment he did so, he felt something off. But he shrugged it off, though believing that he was overthinking things. Naruto, why didn't you come home? Why? Where did you go? I apologize, Naruto said. His tone was quiet. He looked similar to himself, but he looked more muscular, like the baby fat had been drained away from being a child. Other than that, yes, he was taller, much taller. Everything else seemed normal. I lost myself, Sensei, said Naruto. When Orochimaru took me, he did things I can't even remember now. My memory, I didn't even remember who I was. Where I was, I just walked. It wasn't until recently I even remember your name. I'm just putting back everything together, said Naruto. It's been a struggle. The people here, though, has been helpful, helping me come into grips with everything that I've lost. It's alright, kid, Jiraiya said. He felt like he would cry. You're safe. I got you. And I swear to you now, I will never allow that to happen to you ever again. Naruto smiled, and yet, while it seemed so innocent, Jiraiya felt a unnerving sensation that he could not explain. Time skip. They returned back to the village, where the people were who loved him. They were friends from all different directions. Sakura was the first. She hugged him. She squeezed him with all of her might. Seeing him alive made her believe that there was hope. That there was hope to getting everything back to normal. She pressed her face against his shoulder, and her breath came out ragged. And for a moment she was not a medic or a kunoichi. She was just a girl who had been afraid for the past 3 years. And she let it come out. The others gathered. It was like fire had spread in dry grass. Laughter, noise, they all surrounded Naruto. When Hinata heard it, her heart skipped a beat. He was He was back. She teared up almost immediately, tears running down her cheeks. However, Tsunade was observing Naruto. She watched Naruto move through the crowd, accepted the embraces. Something was off. Something was not right. She knew Orochimaru had him for the past 2 years and maybe have done all sorts of things to him. And she would have a psychic evaluation done by Inoichi. But it wasn't that, there was just, he seems too okay. More than that, he seems too calm. Something just wasn't right that she couldn't put her finger on. She needed Inoichi to make sure that everything was alright up there, mentally. Meanwhile, in a base that wasn't on any map, Orochimaru was tired. He hadn't slept well in the longest time now, because he's been running. Yes, he's been running. He had barely stayed by Sasuke's side. Orochimaru has been running for a long while. The Konoha team thought they had tracked Kabuto back to the area. No, they did not. Orochimaru could have shown up and killed them, but he didn't want that. Because he wanted them to learn about Naruto, he wanted them to go after Naruto. When Orochimaru got the 9 tails, he believed he could use it. The beast was infinite power, not to mention it was immortal as well. He wanted to use it to basically turn into something of that caliber. So he put Naruto on his table and did all sorts of things, all sorts of injections. The boys scream and beg and it was horrible, but Orochimaru did not care. But he pushed it too far and Naruto flatlined on the table. Orochimaru refused it though, so he did everything. For 9 hours straight he did everything. But it was pointless. All of the chakra of the beast and the boy's chakra was going away. And then there was a pulse. And then there was a breath. Naruto Uzumaki opened his eyes. And he was wrong. What looked at him from that table was not a boy. It was something else. It had broke free from the restraints. Orochimaru had immediately activated the, sedatives in the lab. As he slipped out, it started spraying everywhere. It actually started to slow him down. But he pushed through it. The next thing Orochimaru knew, he drove the Kusanagi blade through his chest. Because he was afraid. Him, of all people, Orochimaru, the Sannin, was afraid. That wasn't supposed to be possible. After all that he's done. However, when he realized that the boy was still alive, he realized that he did it. He made something functionally immortal. He ran tests, restraining Naruto with everything that he had. As he realized there was something that could restrain him because seals were not working. It was a sedative that filled his body. Enough to kill at least 1,000 people because of overdose. Was just enough to weaken him to keep him in a sedative state. It was a terrifying realization. What he did find out though, the boy insides could recuperate with blood and chakra. These were supposed to be a myth. Scary stories for children. The closest thing that Orochimaru could say that it was a vampire. But that was a storybook. Something that wasn't supposed to be real. But he saw it when adding a drop of blood. And the lack of blood made the child weak. Yes, it did. And no chakra made him even more weak. Orochimaru experimented, he studied. He brought in experts when it came to that type of science, trying to crack the secrets of what he had created and how to remake it. Sasuke did not know that he was at the base where Naruto was that day. How he escaped. He actually didn't escape by himself. Someone helped him. And because of that, for the past year, Naruto has been hunting him. You see, Naruto was toying with him. It seems like he had gained the predatory instincts of a predator that stalked. He enjoyed the hunt. Orochimaru don't know how he keep on finding him. A frequency, a scent, something. Naruto kept on finding him time after time again. The last time he found him, Orochimaru lost an arm and leg before running away. He was a Sanin and he possessed skills and strength that made him a superior man and ninja in every way. But he simply couldn't fight that thing. It seems that Naruto has grown in ways that he never thought was possible. Orochimaru lacked the full comprehension of what he was capable of. And Orochimaru has been terrified for the last year. Every moment looking around trying to find out if he was caught or found. Because Naruto wasn't killing him, he was dragging it out for his own pleasure. It was a game to him. Whatever he brought back had no morals. It had no emotion, no empathy, no love. It was a sick, twisted monster that fed off the depression of him. That is how he saw it. He doesn't know what Naruto has become. He doesn't know anything. But what he does know though, he wanted Konoha to take him off his hands. Because he was afraid. Petrified of Naruto. And he still had his blood. He was trying to find a way to completely destroy him. But his regeneration seemed to be unstoppable. Truly so. And that terrified him even more. Back in Konoha, Hinata, she had been so shy back then. And because of that, she never got to confess. Now here she was, far more confident, standing tall, 16 years old. She had been through so much. She refused to not say what was in her heart. While everyone was discussing, while everyone was talking to him, she had asked him to meet with her. And here she was. She waited, and she waited at the spot. It was Team 7 old training grounds. Finally, Naruto arrived, slowly making his way. The way he moved now was different. The day had been a lot. She knew it was a bit selfish to ask him to meet here after he has been through so much since coming back, but she just needed to tell him. She didn't expect anything to happen right away or anything like that. She just wanted to know how much she missed him. She breathed in as he got close. Naruto, she said, there's something I was too afraid to tell you for a long time, but I have to now. Hinata froze when he crossed the distance and wrapped his arms around her. They rested on her lower back. She blushed. She hasn't done that in a long time. She started to stutter. You smell wonderful, he said, breathing into her neck. Mind if I have a taste? She blinked. A taste? Her mind went somewhere else until Naruto sunk his teeth into her neck. She screamed immediately, but his hand covered her mouth. Her eyes widened in absolute fear. Time skip. Hinata woke up, her eyes immediately snapping open. Everything came back. As she looked around, she had been by this place a lot. She had been here. Konohamaru has also been here to clean the apartment, so she knew it rather well. She sat up and reached for her neck, but there was nothing there. No marks, nothing. Could it all be a dream? But why was she here? No, it was real. She turned and saw Naruto near the window. You bit me, she said. He turned as she pulled back. She tried to get off the bed. There's no need to be afraid, he said. His voice was so unusually calm. I'm not going to hurt you. You already hurt me. You bit me, she said. I've changed, Hinata. Can't you tell? She stared at him. You can see it. You've been watching me for the longest time because of your obsession. He crossed the room. She was shocked. How did you do that? He reached out and placed his hand under her chin, lifting her face. So delicate. So soft, he said, caressing her cheek. Look at me. You're not afraid, he said, looking her deeply into her eyes. You're not afraid of me. She looked into them and her mouth went dry. I'm not afraid, she said. Something moved in his expression. Not a smile, perhaps. Good, he said. Your family must be worried about you. You should go home. Tell them that you ran into me. Tell them that you lost track of time. We spent the night catching up and talking. I was gone for a long time. You had a lot to tell me. That shouldn't be that strange. She nodded without hesitation, agreeing to every one of his words. As for Tsunade, she went through with her promise. Inoichi Yamanaka sat down with Naruto and had a 3-hour discussion with him. When he finally returned to Tsunade, he's different. Jiraiya was there as well. Different how? Inoichi took a moment for himself. Compartmentalized trauma, Inoichi said. Significant. Whatever Orochimaru did to him in that time, he has isolated within himself, and it has caused internal foundations that he has built. That is a Naruto that you know to change into a completely different person. His actions might not go that far, but his personality, his view on things. Tsunade was concerned, so she restricted him. No missions for the time being. Days, weeks, they went by smoothly, and nothing important happened. People watched him move and said to one another, well, he's been through a lot. It was after a couple of weeks that Tsunade decided fine. She cleared him for a mission and allowed him to go on his first mission. Him along with Team 7. It was supposed to be a simple mission to stop a group of bandits from hassling a trading route. It was supposed to be easy and quick, nothing too hard. They escorted a group of caravans there. But when the bandits arrived, things changed almost immediately. Kakashi could barely explain it. One moment Naruto was standing beside him so calm. The next moment he just moved in. Naruto tore them apart. Limb from limb. Kakashi and Jiraiya had tested Naruto. Yes, they had tested him. Yes, they tested him to see how far he has reached. But Naruto did not show anything special. However, it was on that day that Sakura shrieked away from Naruto in absolute fear when he ripped 15 people apart. The bandit group was 5, but there was 10 more hiding, and they tried to flee and Naruto killed every single one of them. But it wasn't that. It was how casual he was about it, even when he was stained in blood. The moment he got back, Tsunade called for him immediately. It was just the both of them, while their envoys were always there hiding. Naruto, the escort team, I got a report from them, and they described the operation as I know what it described. Then you know why you're here. You know what I want to ask you, she said. I understand that I was more capable than anticipated, and the situation went faster than expected. I was holding back with Jiraiya and Kakashi. I didn't want to hurt them. After all, I got the mission done. Wouldn't you say that was effective? Effective. The old you would have never torn people apart. The physical strength alone to do something like that. Orochimaru, his experiment on me made me stronger. But you should know that you said it while you were running your test on me. Yes, but not by this much, she said. This muscle density and strength, I did not see anything of the sorts. For now, you are restricted from going on any missions until further notice. Is that understood? Of course. I understand that you would like to Re-evaluate everything. She was more worried than ever before how calmly he took it. Something was wrong. She had her envoys watching him. And the first and second day went by fine until the third day when the envoy came by and said that Naruto bit Sakura Haruno in the neck and dragged her into his home. The envoy reported everything. Tsunade stood there shocked. Sakura was on the street an hour later, having no memory, no marker on her neck but the envoy. The envoy was solid on his story. Tsunade had Jiraiya back to the village. Kakashi was there as she told them. Sakura herself had no recollection of any of that. They had tested Naruto thoroughly and seen nothing to be physically wrong with him. Even the Nine Tails was still there. The seal was intact. Jiraiya, using his Fuinjutsu, they made a special room for Naruto. Something to hold him at bay. Yamato was there, Kakashi was there. They were all there. Shouldn't we say something to him first, Sakura said. She was also there. Shouldn't we try to talk to him? We will. This is just for precaution. Ever since he has returned, Naruto has been acting strange. And I know you see that as well. We are not taking any chances just in case. They led him towards the location because he seemingly trusts them. He did not hesitate with his movements, he simply followed them. They led him into the place and Naruto's back was turned to them. The envoys activate the seal. Naruto looked around. His voice never raised. Why are you doing this? He questioned. You are not the same, Jiraiya said. Something bad happened to you. Whatever Orochimaru did, it changed you in a way that we can't explain right now. We need to help you. Help me. I need to run some more tests, Tsunade said. Something isn't right with you, kid. And we're just trying to fix you. Fix me, Naruto said. He smiled. I wonder how long I could carry the charade on for. Then again, I suppose biting Sakura in front of that envoy was a giveaway. Sakura's hand went to her neck. You... what? Perhaps I was just bored, and I wanted to be discovered. It took you guys long enough. I thought that ripping those thugs apart would give you the go-ahead to do this, but you still had enough faith to watch and wait. You really did love me, didn't you? Said Naruto, as he looked at them all. Unfortunately though, this is not going to stop me. He placed his hand on the nearest ceiling tag, and it started to burn. Crimson flames burning the chakra away as Naruto stepped out. The group took a step back in absolute shock. You're right, all of you. I'm not the same, he said. What was it that Orochimaru said? Ah yes. He described me as a vampire. You know those legends and tales that you read in storybooks? It was the closest thing that he could describe to what I was now. Naruto's eyes became crimson red like they were made of blood. His whole demeanor changed. That's impossible. Tsunade said I did my test. I made you see what I wanted you to see, said Naruto. My eyes can go far beyond illusion to make one believe my words like it is a truth. None of your tests were accurate. You wrote what I wanted you to write, said Naruto. The game was fun in the beginning, but I've done what I needed to do here. And it's time I continue doing what I'm doing until you found me, Jiraiya. Don't bother. There's nothing you can do to prevent what is coming. The term shinobi will be outdated in a couple of years. Something new, something great is coming. Restrain him now, said Jiraiya. The envoys moved, but Naruto was faster. He tossed them away like they were nothing, physical strength seeming to be rivaling Tsunade's, as he sent one through the wall. The group was prepared to fight until they heard it. Footsteps. Civilians. Man, woman, and child. They tear through the windows. They tear through the door. Tsunade and the others immediately backpedaled. They started to knock them away, but the group, it was overwhelming. Their faces were wrong, as they had similar features to him. Red eyes, their fangs extending. They were trying to bite them. The Anvus were the first to be seized as they sink their fang into them. Tsunade hit one of them with a punch that cracked his chest open, but he just got back up like it was nothing. There was too much of them. "Run," she said. All of them made their way. They moved across the roofs as they looked down to see. Outside, there was so much of them. "When did he do this?" "I turned them," Naruto said, his voice extending to even them. "I have been here for some time," he said. "You should know, they're only loyal to me." Naruto smiled as Jiraiya Rasengan destroyed one of their hearts and he did not get back up. But when Kakashi Kunai hit one of them in the heart, he got back up. It's chakra. You have to destroy their heart with chakra. Jiraiya went through hand sign and summoned two massive toad. "Block the area," he shouted as Gamabunta did as he was told and brought his blade up and slammed it into the ground. But these lesser vampires simply leaped. They had to get the innocent people out of here. In just a few days, Naruto had changed a large portion of Konoha population. Jiraiya summoned another toad. He was depleting himself, but they had to go into his mouth. There was too much of them and they were coming. And maybe there was a way to cure them and reverse it. They can't result in killing all of these people. Meanwhile, as Naruto stood on the top of the Hokage building, Hinata was brought to him, but she was not harmed, not in the slightest, restrained and bound. These lesser vampires, they were fully aware. They could talk, respond, they were just the same, but their loyalty for Naruto was deep. And they did as they were told. And Naruto was telling them to go on a rampage, that is why they were doing this. It was the beginning of the end after all. It was where he was born, it was where it will end. He had them release Hinata. "Why are you doing this?" she said. It wasn't hard to figure out that he was the mastermind behind all of this. These people. "Why?" she said. She didn't understand. He would never do this. "Orochimaru helped me understand something," said Naruto. "While he was experimenting on me, basically torturing me, while I was screaming until my voice was gone. The world needed to change. Men like him desire change, but for themselves. And I realized that from my birth. From my understanding of this village, my desire was always to become Hokage, to bring changes. And I figured, upon discovering myself, upon becoming the man I am now, why don't I just take that responsibility? Why don't I just become the Hokage that I need to be? Why don't I just step up as the leader? But not for the village, but for the entire elemental nation. These are not people you're making, Naruto, she said. These are monsters. Then you too see me as a monster, he said. She hesitated. Naruto smiled at her. "I admire you," he said. "It wasn't until I returned that I remember you. How devoted you were, how loyal you were, without even being one of mine," he said. "I told you that I wasn't going to hurt you and I meant it. Your loyalty will prove to be something great," Naruto said. He cut his finger. He grabbed her mouth as she tried to fight him. No, she said. He poured his blood into her mouth. Once he was done, he poked his finger into her temple. You could see the chakra running from his nail into her. Hinata trembled as she felt it in her brain, circulating her heart. It was overwhelming and it stopped her heart. She collapsed. Those ones down there, feeding them his blood. It turned them almost immediately. However, he's been feeding Hinata that first day when he first bit her. And that will make her far, far stronger and more hard to kill than those ones. Because she was special. She was loyal to him without even his well, dominance over her, is leadership. He would like to see the result that came from her love and how it would make her into something special. She lie there dead, her entire body going through a great change. Her rebirth would signal anew something special. Naruto stood there. He had grown tired of pretending like he wasn't something else. He could compel someone's mind, taking control of their body and their mind by simply affecting their chakra. Because he didn't have to leech blood alone, he could leech chakra off of people to grow far stronger, which made him rare and unique. As far as he knew, the others did not do that. They only drink blood. He wondered though, would Hinata have the same abilities that he possessed? As the others lack all of his abilities, just simpler ones. Then again, they were just cannon fodder to be used. Nothing important. But they were going to exist in a world where it is them and the few humans that they keep around to keep the population for their blood and chakra. That is a world that he was going to create, because Orochimaru was right about him. Naruto Uzumaki died. The thing that was reborn might have his name, might wear his face, but he was something else entirely. Naruto stood there with a smile as he saw Hinata starting to twitch. Time skip. What's on your mind? Sakura said as she turned. Lying beside her was Sasuke. The ceiling above was stone. The room was carved stone. Everything on the ground was carved stone. It has been for years now. The settlements had gone deep. They keep on needing one another layer of protection, another layer to keep them safe, another layer to keep them quiet. Everything, Sasuke said. It's been 6 years. 6 years since Naruto had turned the world into death and destruction out there. 6 years since he took the world, forcing all of the human populace to go underground. His vampires just keep on pumping their blood into people and changing them. Once enough blood went into your system, your body couldn't fight it off and it kills you. It was like a parasite. To think, Sasuke spent his entire life trying to kill Itachi, but in the end, it was Itachi that sacrificed himself, allowing Sasuke to get away while he was swarming. They ripped him apart. Yes, it wasn't all about changing. A lot of it was about killing as well. Naruto was letting his creatures run rampant. And for the past 6 years, Sasuke had been here with Sakura. The both of them having lost a lot. She lost both of her parents. Maybe now she could truly understand him, what he had went through. Everything, and it changed them. But it wasn't that was tomorrow. Their relationship was quiet, easy, nice. Because you can't have a real relationship in a world that was falling apart. It wasn't anything special. The war room, the place where everything was decided. To think, you would never see people like these together. You had Orochimaru, scientist that has done horrific things to this world, in the corner, along with Orochimaru and Tsunade. Even Danzo Shimura was here. A man that wanted to take the world from Konoha gates, but now he had to run away from it. Tsunade has been working with them for the longest time now. Orochimaru was the only one that can truly help them, because even after all these years, he still had Naruto blood. And they finally found a way to kill him. While his creatures, his creations could be killed by chakra to the heart that destroyed it, he could not. Neither could that cursed woman of his. The weapon exists because of him. It had nature energy, along with Naruto blood. It was a counter-reaction to everything that Naruto was. It took a long time to make this. It took a long time to even begin to work to create something like this. It took a lot of minds and a lot of sacrifice as well, as they had to capture a lot of Naruto people and experiment on them. In the end, they finally created a weapon that can harm Naruto blood. They had destroyed the rest of his blood by using this weapon. It was like a poison to it. The mere touch of it turned it into dust. Yes, his blood, losing all the enzyme out of it, blowing away. All they needed was one shot, because there was only one weapon that they could create. Tsunade was gonna take it. They knew where he would be. They knew his army, they knew his schedule. Shikamaru Naruto was there in the room. As everything was together, everything was being put together. So many sacrifices, he lost his father. Jiraiya was gone. When Naruto told him to submit, Naruto snapped his neck just to hurt them. Kiba was torn apart. Neji was beheaded by his own cousin. Hinata had become ruthless, terrifying. The world was just a mess. The right Kage was there without his right arm. Once a leader of a village, but nowadays there was no hidden villages. Everyone was just mixed together. Kurosaki was there. She had been training hard to learn her grandfather's particle style. He was ripped apart by them. Gaara was gone. The Mizukage was dead. It was Kojiro that took over for her. The world was just horrible. And in between all of that, we see Naruto Uzumaki. He did what he said. He took over Konoha as their leader. Konoha was his home, his main base of operation. And he was not alone. Hinata was more stunning, cold, wicked. You could see by the way she dressed. A bit on the sexual side, but she liked to flaunt and show off her curves. Something she would have never done in the past. The resistance. They're getting more brave, she said. Yes. Let them come, said Naruto. I'm sure they have been planning for a long while. Do they actually believe that they can kill you? She whispered to him. I think they believe they can. Let us see if that will give them hope, Naruto said as he walked with her. Konoha has turned into a city for its vampires and for the living. The living were, well, you can call them animals now to them. They were kept in cages, they were fed upon, they were kept alive, forced with worse than death if they did anything stupid. And he wasn't talking about turning any of them. Over the time that had passed by, Naruto has grown only stronger, physically and mentally as well. His name was spoke about in whispers across the elemental nation to some of the other survivors who were in different locations. The world was terrified of him, as they knew that he was in control. However, the last powerful group of survivors finally found a way to get rid of him, and they would strike. Dawn came without color. They moved up through the tunnels as the sky above them was gray. It was pale gray. As they moved, there was an access point that they were keeping hidden. They kept rubble and all sorts of things over it. It looked like an average location, but it was a way for them to get inside. The collapsed section was easily able to move. Konoha was bright and living. The opposite of that, but still. Compared to an outside view, it seems like everything was just okay. As the village was doing rather well in terms of people. Too well. There was too many people here. But all of them belonged to Naruto though. Shikamaru had mapped the approach. 3 assaults at the same time, 3 columns, explosive tags. They were a big part of this to draw the army. The first one was the detonation, drawing them from the eastern side. The second column was Kurosaki. She carried the will of our grandfather as she performed the technique that he was well known for. It was an obliteration. She was destroying them, but their numbers However, all of this was just a distraction. The third column though, that is what the main forces were carrying. And that reached the tower in 17 minutes. They lost people along the way. However, no one stopped. They kept it inside knowing that they would grieve later. Kakashi hit the tower door with enough force to blow it off the hinges. The interior of the office had been changed. On the lower floors, the vampires inside turned to face them. Sakura and Sasuke moved to the right. Kakashi and Tsunade moved to the left. Danzo clearing the path with his people. The stairwell, the upper floors. And at the top of it all, his hands resting behind him. He looked through the great window, gazing over the burning village that belonged to him. He finally turned. He looked at them all. He looked at the remainder of Team 7 to think that they all made it through well. And he smiled. "You came," he said. He looked towards them, standing there perfectly calm. Tsunade's eyes was filled with rage and fury. "Stand down," she said. Was she giving him an order? "It's over, Naruto," she said. "Whatever you think, whatever you are now, you are never going to win. You can never break humanity." Naruto started to clap, them flinching at him moving his arms as he started to clap. "You've been so impressive. 6 years. Most people didn't even last 3 months, let alone 6 years. You've been remarkable. Shikamaru planning. I know you would made it far." The look on their face when they heard him say that. How did he know that Shikamaru was the mastermind behind this? But they didn't have time for it though. As they attacked, he was everything that their scouts had reported and more. He moved away light move. It didn't even look like he was moving fast. It seems like he was just appearing. His speed dwarfing majority of them. The Sharingan though served as a wonderful tool. Sasuke having awakened a Mangekyo after his brother's death. The black flames, they were incredibly fast but they could not reach Naruto. Sasuke could not focus on him for too long to hold him down, but that was what they needed. Danzo ordered his men as they jumped into the space that he would have occupied, stopping Naruto. Sasuke then set ablaze even some of the loyalists getting caught up in the black fire, but that was what they needed. Naruto's back was turned as a mirror. It shattered. "Now do it!" Tsunade shouted. Hope filled them all as Orochimaru, weapon in hand, ready to kill what he created. Her words were just an added bonus because Orochimaru had already stepped inside. He was already just a hair breadth away from Naruto. The weapon was drawn back. He just needed to plunge it in his chest as Naruto turned. Orochimaru stopped. Confusion filled their faces. They couldn't process what was going on. "You did well," Naruto said, taking Orochimaru's wrist and taking the weapon away from him. The look on Tsunade's face. How? She said. Naruto slipped behind the Sanin. "He created me," he said, placing a hand on his shoulder. "He put his hands inside everything I am. He built me, piece by piece in a way. I died and he reconstructed me, without fully knowing what I would have become. I had 1 year alone with him. At first it was just torture. I manipulated him, I hunted him. I messed with his psyche over and over and over and over again. But I also left an impression on him. I didn't turn him. I never had to. Because he knew that he wanted this. His desire to become like me was so great. He would have given me whatever I wanted. And in these past 6 years, I met with him on a few occasions. and I broke his mind. Not physically. Naruto said, smiling at them. I went deep into the very man that he once was. I plucked it apart. I knew that he was the only thing that he would count on to build something to destroy me. And despite everything that I've done, his goal, his thirst for immortality was still rather strong. So I simply told him what he wanted. And he was always loyal to me. Because deep down Orochimaru already realized there was no end in this. The fight had already been over much earlier. Isn't that right? Orochimaru nodded. You traitor, Tsunade said. She tried to punch Orochimaru but he simply slithered away. Naruto backhanded her as she crashed into the wall. Now, don't touch him, said Naruto. Orochimaru was a shell of the former man that he once was. He was broken, completely subservient to Naruto, under his whim, under his control. Why, said Tsunade as she picked herself up. Why let us get this far? Why kill Jiraiya if you already had all of this? Oh, that was just to push you guys far enough. For you to go to extreme levels and invite people like Orochimaru into your sanctuary, knowing that you need all possible humans to survive, even though he wasn't really human anymore, said Naruto. As he smiled at her, they looked like they were ready to die. Sakura looking towards Sasuke. They both nodded at each other. Don't worry, I'm not gonna kill any of you. The look on their face was one of surprise. Of course not. What would be the point? You are food and you are entertainment, Naruto said, standing by the window. You can go. As he said that, he snapped his finger as his arm stopped, parting the way. I suggest you do it now before the rest of your little force get torn apart, Naruto said. You should go back on the ground. Have children, build something. I won't come for you. In 20, 50 years, allow your children to come after me. Allow them to find new ways of trying to erase my existence. Because all of this is just a game to me. My life is no longer bound to the petty squabble of mankind. You will age and you will die, while I will remain eternal, immortal. Tsunade looked at him for the last time. She turned her back. When they stepped outside, they were not touched. She gazed back up towards the mirror as she saw Naruto allowing Orochimaru to feed upon his blood. She looked away with disgrace. Naruto stood there as they went off. Hinata came back down as she was carrying the head of Ino. You killed her, said Naruto. She got annoying, telling me that I could fight this, telling me that I can break through your hole. She didn't understand that I didn't want to fight it. I didn't want to break through, which made me thought. Thank you, she said. For what? For turning me like you. My former self would have never understand. But now I can see everything much clearer, she said. And I want to thank you in my own personal way as well. A lustful smile came on his face as she grabbed his shirt. She tore it off without hesitation. They slept together on the decks right there in front of, well, the world to see. They did not give a damn, not in the slightest. Time skip. They lost 30% of their forces on that attack. The weapon was gone. Kakashi he gave up. You could see it. He gave up completely. Sasuke and Sakura, they didn't know what to do. They didn't see the point of it anymore. Tsunade tried. She tried to give them hope. She tried to give them a reason for going on, but they lost it. No one even thought they were just broken. Yes, they were. As time passed by, Naruto camp for humans were larger than ever before. Bending to his command, they did as they were told. Some wanted to give up, some didn't want to live anymore, but Naruto simply didn't allow it, as he stood at the president of the world. No one was above him. No one could control him. No one could come across him and defeat him. He ruled with an iron fist. This civilization was his. But as he looked up towards the heavens, his thirst for more was starting to grow stronger and stronger. A thought then popped into his mind. It was over 4 years ago. They catch something. They had trapped it. Naruto had trapped it because he could not turn it. A creature. It tried to turn into liquid form. It was trying to escape a lot, but it could not. He captured it. He didn't even try that hard to break it because he had other things to focus on, like turning the entire Akatsuki. But now, he found himself intrigued. That thing, perhaps it wasn't from this world. And that would mean there was more out there. Hinata came up beside him. What's on your mind? Everything, said Naruto, as he smiled. But guys, I'll be ending this movie right here. Maybe I'll do a second movie for this one, where years pass and the survivors did as Naruto said, having children, finding new ways to hurt him, and Naruto would be going up against forces that weren't from the Elemental Nation. So yeah, maybe I'll be doing something like that, a singular movie for itself, so yeah. But for now, I'm out. Peace, guys.